This movie is called Santa's Sleigh, starring pro wrestler extraordinaire Bill Goldberg.
Hmm.
Uh, so this one posits the idea of, okay, so basically God has a son, which is Jesus, and then Satan also has a son, which is Santa Claus. And there's
I
a
I can
there
see that. Yeah,
there's
makes
an
sense.
angel. There's an angel played by Robert Culp. He makes this deal like with Santa Claus, basically, that if they win this game that they play, or that if he wins this game that he play, Santa Claus will be good for 1,000 years. So this 1,000 years is up, of course, and the angel is there, and he's the grandfather to this kid. So it has this sort of like Gremlins vibe, where like the main kid and then his girlfriend have to deal with Santa Claus coming after the angel and trying to take him out and all the people that are around him. Bill Goldberg doing wrestling moves as he's slaughtering people, running them over with his reindeer, and then like going into a strip club and saying ho ho, and then like a girl walks by and he goes hose. But there's all just sort of cheesy lines like that. Super entertaining.
Why
Low
did
budget
Bill
movie.
Goldberg have to go this road, and John Cena and The Rock are just kind of massive Hollywood stars?
You know, I have no idea.
Like you got Bautista,
Mhm.
um, John Cena, and Rock have just gone on to
Massive success.
massive
Yeah, yeah.
success, and Bill Goldberg is in low budget.
Well, the answer to that is just Bill Goldberg has to be in a movie with The Rock because The Rock turns everything he touches into gold, with the
That's
exception,
true.
possibly like very few exceptions. Although they could be bad movies, but they're still going to make money. I think almost every movie The Rock has been in has made a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's just kind of funny when you look at these guys. Even like even a guy like that, like a John Cena, which I would like. This guy is not going to go on to mainstream success.
Yeah.
He went on to mainstream success, but
watching Santa Claus as a pro wrestler is I found very entertaining. And the movie is just pretty much, it accepts the fact that it's super cheesy the whole way through, and it goes for the, I mean, it doesn't go for like the ultra gore, but it leverages its R rating. But
just enough.
Yeah, it leverages its R rating just enough.
I haven't seen it, but I'm sensing Psycho Gorman vibes.
It's got a little bit of that vibe to it, although they don't try and make Bill Goldberg be personable. He's just like a straight up villain in it, although he's just cracking one liners. It's like if you would see Arnold in a movie and he's cracking one liners, but he's the villain. It's just
like Batman and Robin. I've seen
pretty
that
much,
movie.
yeah, pretty much, but better because Batman and Robin is horrible.
No, Batman and Robin was the Batman movie that just kind of
flipped. Oh, it was fucking horrible. Yeah,
but
it was kind of funny because it was so bad it was good, that it was entertaining for the first time. There's some movies that are like that. You're like, is this going to be so bad that it's so good it's going to entertain me through the whole thing? And then after you're amused by a while, you're like, oh shit, no, it's just going to torture me.
This is just going to get worse and worse and worse.
That was Batman and Robin, but Santa's Sleigh is great.
Yeah.
And he also has sort of like Santa superhero stuff. So he has like ornaments that he throws that are like poison gas, and like candy canes that he throws at people and shit like that.
I like that it has actually no basis in like, hey, like it's not like this is Krampus. It's just what if Santa?
Yeah, they just invented their own legend with it. Yeah, it's not Krampus punishing the bad children. Satan just had a kid, and it was Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. We're just rewriting. We're rewriting the story here. Like this.
Now this is what's great too. Is that like what game do they play where Santa Claus loses so that he has to be basically good for 1,000 years and can't slay anyone? They play a curling game. So they,
makes sense.
Curling, probably one of the most visually boring games on the planet. That's the game that they play, but it's a very short segment in the movie. But so when Santa comes back, he gets to like slaughter people. So he gets like his whole like day of Christmas that he can go on a slaughtering rampage on, because he's been good for those 1,000 years. And then they have to try and imprison him again or whatnot. And then also rednecks in the town go after his reindeer with a rocket launcher, which is great too.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I can get the vibe on that one pretty good. I kind of had, because I'm looking at the ones that I did kind of had a more of a, I don't want to say serious tone because they weren't all serious tone, but that was like that one is really in the low budget horror as comedy as
low budget horror is comedy. It does have that Gremlins vibe where it's got the whole holiday spirit vibe and everything in there. But it's just like it leverages the R rating as opposed to Gremlins, which doesn't. But Gremlins is always sort of on the edge of it.
Yeah.
But it does have that same, sort of spirit throughout. It's just that like the stripe that they're fighting is much larger. And I thought it was kind of funny too, because Robert Culp keeps like he's like, everybody keeps calling Santa Claus fat in the movie. And then like when Santa Claus like takes off his main Santa Claus coat. He's all like super ripped, like a pro wrestler. And I'm like, well, you bastards insulting Santa Claus like this. He's like, Mrs. Santa Claus has been giving me too many cookies, but then he's all like ripped. They didn't even put him in a fat suit. You're gonna make the fat jokes, put the guy in a fat suit.
Yeah, make him fat. If you're gonna make fat jokes, make him fat. Well, it's also like like to tie it with say rare exports. None of those were fat Santas. They were all
no. And I love the idea that the fact that like instead of elves, you see a bunch of Santa Claus minions. That's a fantastic little twist.
Yeah. So, but I mean, thinking about it, none of the Santa Clauses, you see kind of represented in horror are fat. They're all kind of like gaunt and skinny. Or ripped.
In the comedy movies, they're always fat.
They're always fat.
Most of the time. I shouldn't say all the time, but yeah.
The other one, and I'll finish off just thinking about it because it's popped in my head. The other kind of, it's not a horror movie, it's a comedy, but it's definitely a horrific Santa. Is Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places. There is actually a horror film in like what happens to him.
Super sleazy Santa.
Like you could actually pick up just that little bit where it's like something like his guy's life's falling apart during Christmas and he's dressed in his Santa outfit and just almost goes like falling down like bonkers and just gets wasted and goes around. But it's also, I guess, kind of bad Santa-ish. Yeah. But if I think of horrifying Santa Clauses, Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places is a horrifying Santa. Yeah. But he is a lot like Billy Bob Thornton in Bad Santa. That's very similar. It's a very similar vibe there.